Hello, my name is Cassondra Shields, founder of Shields Scholars. Before starting this company, I was an ESL teacher working with students in China, Taiwan, and Singapore. Most of my students were English language learners, and many of them were just 4 and 5 years old. However, I did work with teenagers as well as adults all over the entire world as well. Then in 2020, during COVID, friends and family began asking me to tutor their children here in the United States. That's when everything kind of shifted for me. I quickly realized that the issue wasn't science, it wasn't social studies, it wasn't the kids not understanding their school material and needing help with their homework or comprehending what they were supposed to be learning. They literally couldn't read their textbooks. I had 2nd and 3rd graders struggling to decode basic words, while my 4 and 5-year-old ESL students overseas who barely even spoke English were reading at higher levels. That was the moment I realized something was deeply, deeply wrong with what was going on in what I just thought was my district at the time. But I quickly found out this was an issue all over the world, and all of the data supports that. Right now, for example, only 31% of 4th graders in the United States are reading proficiently, which means nearly 70% of students are below where they should be in school. Percent of American adults read below a 6th grade level, and 21 approximately percent of adults, which is roughly 43 million people, are functionally illiterate. And me, coming from a criminal justice background, this hit me even harder because studies show that 70% of incarcerated adults cannot read above a 4th grade level. 5% of juveniles in the justice system are functionally illiterate. There is a very direct correlation between literacy, academic failure, poverty, and justice system involvement. This is often referred to as the school to prison pipeline, and it is a very real concept. This is not just a theory, this actually exists. Reading is not just another school subject. By upper elementary school, children use reading to access the majority of their academic content. We're talking science, history, math, word problems, everything. If reading is weak, everything becomes harder. My academic background shaped how I approached this problem. For example, I hold a bachelor's degree in criminal justice with a minor in psychology. My thesis examined Supreme Court sentencing decisions for juvenile offenders and the risk and protective factors associated with conduct disorder and adult offending and adult recidivism rates. Most of my psychology coursework focused on child development, behavioral science, and developmental neurology. I also studied ABA, or Applied Behavior Analysis, and language acquisition through my TESOL certification. So here's what's important. Children learn to speak naturally, but reading is not natural. Reading builds on language systems in the brain, but it must be explicitly taught. When phonemic awareness and phonics are skipped, students struggle, and those struggles often look like attention issues, frustration, or learning disabilities. In 2020, I started small, very small. I created pre-reading classes for preschoolers, including my own 3-year-old at the time, because I was very scared that she was going to be left behind or have a hard time in school as well with everything that I was seeing in real time. But this preschool course focused on phonemic awareness, sound development, and structure decoding. Within 6 to 12 months, my 3, 4, and 5-year-olds were reading at 1st grade levels. Now, I did not set out to build a company. It still kind of surprises me that I have one on some days. But what I did do is I built a system that worked. Over the past 6 years, I've continued refining and expanding these programs. And every 6 to 9 months, I added grade levels so my original students could continue to progress and they could continue to have me as their primary teacher. Today, I have 6 years of assessments and measurable data from hundreds of students, and I use that data constantly to fine tutor our instruction. At Shields Scholars, our goal is very simple: clear instruction, explicit skill progression, live interactive teaching, and measurable growth. We don't guess, we assess, and we teach intentionally. We are here to build confident readers because literacy changes everything. I am so glad you're here, and I look forward to supporting your child's journey.